Good morning, Magic players. Welcome to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic the Gathering. So get your questions fired up and ready, and let's have a great discussion this morning. Also, we do Decklist reviews. So if you've got a 75 you would like some feedback on, would like to show off your spicy brew, submit it to us, and both myself and the community would love to give you some feedback. So brew up your cup of coffees and let's brew up Magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for, what is the date today? April 5th, 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mikey J, Matthew Ford, Matthew Fernandez. We have all the Matthews in the house this morning. Brainless Ed, Lord Magicus. You're on your way to work? Good morning, Matthew Ford, and from Italy, Matthew Ford. Well, then good evening. Or good afternoon. I don't know what time zone it is in Italy at this moment. But yes, good morning to everybody. And wherever you are in this world, brew your cup of coffees or your iced teas, your Slurpees, whatever it is good for you this morning. Oh, so you are working, but just that's also good. Keep Coffee and MTG running while you're at work. It's no excuse. You can have it. You got YouTube on your phone. You all know that. Mizu, good morning. Good morning, Scoos. Herald, good morning, everyone. Okay. So I think we have the full spoiler up. I don't know if there's anything new that we didn't know before. At least that I don't know about. I mean, this is basically the whole spoiler. Oh, the bum asked me, do you play Arena? I just played Arena recently. And right now, I think it's a very good way to just fill in the dead space in my streams. Because I stream for about 3 hours. And if the league is done in like 2.5 hours, I don't want to start a new league. Because then I have to finish it off. I have to finish it off on my own time somewhere, some other point. And if I don't do it before my next stream, it feels awkward getting back into it. So anyway, if I spend like 2.5 hours on a league, then I can just go play Historic Merfolk, and I think that works out perfectly. And I think I'm going to be playing a lot more on my phone now that I have that available. Now that they have it available on iOS. Oh yes, you Android users, you had MTG Arena for months now, but us Apple users, we didn't have it, but we have it now, so I can play it. Oh, I found it interesting. I have no idea how much Arena put on my phone. It downloads a giant update. I have no idea what they're putting on my phone. I mean, the same thing with the PC. They download like 4 gigabytes worth of stuff. It's basically every card that they have imaginable. Good morning, Mikey J. Technically, I'm working right now. Why aren't you? I'm working. Unless that message was for Lord Magicus. Gustavo, good morning. Little Bird Commander spoilers start today. Oh, interesting. So there is even more chaos that could be ensued in Legacy. Legacy going to get big shakeups thanks to Strixhaven and the Commander cards. All right, you guys know the drill. 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions amongst all the comments. And of course, if you're on YouTube, you can cheat the system with the super chats. Pushes your question above to the top of my feed. That's how you do it. See, McGengar. Hello, what is the most competitive modern deck that uses Blightsteel Colossus? I know that this card isn't good in modern, but I really like it. If I were to take a good guess... Okay, so first off, no deck plays this card, but... So hold on, let's get Blightsteel. Let's get Blightsteel Colossus up here. Blightsteel, baby. 12 mana. Trample, Infect, Indestructible. Okay, if I were to take a wild... And of course, it's got, you can't chump block that with a Llanowar Elf. They had that in mind. Okay, so if I were to take a wild guess, I would imagine that you can only play this in some Tron deck or Madcap Skills deck. Madcap Skills? Madcap... Well, no, this is Madcap Skills. Madcap Experiment. So you're in some sort of control deck. I mean, I guess you could put this in anything. Reveal cards from the top. You could put this in Burn. Oh, no, is it? Yeah, you could put this in Burn. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Madcap Experiment deals damage to you equal to the number of cards revealed this way. Oh, no, you can't. Oh, you're going to kill yourself. No, you can't do this. Oh, you're gonna kill yourself. This only works with was it Platinum Empyrean? Yeah, because your life total doesn't change. So mad capping. Okay, so like Tron. If you just want to jam this in as a spicy one of in that Tron deck, you could find it with what's it called? Eye of Ugin. No, not Eye of Ugin. Can't what's the land that you sack and you this is not Eye of Ugin. Eye of Ugin's banned. Oh, maybe Through the Breach. Yeah, maybe a blue-red Through the Breach is a very good choice. Sanctum of Ugin. All those Ugin lands, they all blend in the same way. So you can Sanctum of Ugin for this thing. This would be a big win more card. But, like, actually, I like this suggestion. Let's play Through the Breach of Emrakul. Winning with Emrakul, that's so last year. We want to just win with Infect. So that's probably fine. But to brutally honestly answer the question, there is no deck that plays Blightsteel Colossus yet. One day, maybe you can make that day today. What's the best Merfolk color? Blue. That's for sure. Gustavo, favorite Mystical Archives art. Ooh, oh, Mystical Archives? I'm allowed to choose the Japanese cards, right? Or are these technically the Mystical Archive arts? That Time Warp looks great, though. Or is there like oh, here's the Japanese variants. Oh, I have not closely like looked at this. We could look at them right now. They are really nice. It makes me feel like owning all of them, even though I have no business owning any. Like, I don't need an approach of the sec. Look at this Day of Judgment. Looks a great. Oh, this Defiant Strike. It looks like a blue card. Look at all the octopus tentacles and the water. But I don't need a Defiant Strike. How expensive is this Defiant Strike going to be? This is just some stupid instant +1/+0 draw card, isn't it? Yeah. What? A shite card. I mean, I guess it's played in some, like, feather decks or something. Look at that Divine Gambit. Oh, apparently they fucked up the arts. They accidentally swapped the arts by accident. So this is Memory Lapse. And this is supposed to be Ephemerate. Yeah, it's okay. No, the art is of Memory Lapse. They got the Memory Lapse art. But so the Memory Lapse art is on the left, but they accidentally actually just put it on the Ephemerate card. So you see this woman pulling through pages. It has nothing to do with Ephemerate. It has absolutely nothing to do. And then when we get to where's Ephemerate? Sorry, here's Memory Lapse. Here's Memory Lapse down here. And the woman is like disappearing. You can see that? The waviness. Just slowly disappearing. So they accidentally swapped the arts by accident. I thought that was some funny news. These are just amazing though. Look at the detail. So much detail. I love it. Not in love with that Brainstorm, though. Not in love with the Brainstorm. And that's fucking Brainstorm. Counterspell's not too bad. I like the Counterspell. I might get myself some Counterspells. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I love the Memory Lapse art, but I think I almost like this one better here. I like the Ephemerate art on the Memory Lapse. I don't know about the rest of you. We have Negate. Mind's Desire. Opt. That's a nice opt. I like that. I like the constellation stuff and the, the circles and the rings. Your strategic planning. Oh man, I can't choose a favorite though. You're making me choose. They're all great. Well, I think I really like this Faithless Looting maybe the most. I really like this Faithless Looting. I love the reds. Look, I'm wearing red today. I don't wear red that much, but love red. Red is great. So many cards, too. Anyway, I could be doing this all day. Let's get to some more questions. Any particular any card in particular you're excited or scared of in Strix? I'm scared of what's the 1-mana one? What's the 1-mana super prowess creature? I am fucking terrified of that card. I'm gonna make a video about this today. Have it published for everybody tomorrow. Or maybe I'll just make a rant about it right now. What's the 1-mana bullshit thing? Oh, Clever Lumimancer. This card is fucked. I don't know. I really hope this is like, I hope desperately that this is going to be the red herring of the set. Like it looks really good, but it's actually garbage. I hope it's the confounding conundrum of the set. I'm really hoping it is. There's some disadvantages to this, you know? I mean, if your opponent has Soulscar Mage out and they just ping this thing for 1 damage, then it's going to die at the cleanup step. But I think this looks like a fucking nightmare. You can do so much damage off of this one card. So much damage. Like, at least Kiln Fiend. At least Kiln Fiend. You have some time to deal with this, all right? You have time. You even have time to put a blocker on the battlefield. There's gonna be a lot of games where you don't do shit on the draw against this, and then they smack you for like 9 to 11 damage. Why is this good? Because it's like super prowess. It's like Soulscar Mage, except that it gets +2/+2 instead of +1/+1. So it's just, it's going to be impossible to block. You can take outrageous amounts of damage off of this. And look at the price. Well, I don't know if this is high for an uncommon. But this card is really fucked, in my opinion. This is very scary. I mean, we already have enough trouble against the prowess decks. Like, apparently, it's not enough that we got Swift Spear and Soulscar Mage and Sprite Dragon and all these. Now we've got Clever Lumimancer. This card is going to be a problem. Could it be that the Clever Lumimancer is just the 3rd best choice for a 1-drop in a prowess deck? Maybe it won't be that bad. Maybe it won't. Or even if it's the 3rd best choice, it's still better than the 2-drop prowess cards. Like, because, okay, like, let's say you go turn 1. I mean, I think it's very dangerous for prowess decks that they can go turn 1 prowess creature and then turn 2 play 2 more prowess creatures, and then on turn 3 they just fucking go to your head. And like, you don't have removal for all of them, right? Like, you just don't have removal for everything. That's my major problem. Like, you're going to be exhausted of removal super quick. If there's only one big, really powerful prowess creature, okay, that's not bad. But when you've got like 2 to 3 on the board, you use your 1 removal spell, there's 2 still standing. That's a problem. That's a problem. Actually, Bauble doesn't make the card scary because it only gets... It's not prowess, but it gets triggered by instants and sorceries, which is basically prowess, like, you know, 95% of the time. 95% of the time, this is like what you're casting in order to trigger your prowess creatures, you know what I mean? It's basically what's happening most of the time. And then, yeah, let's look at Leonin Lightscribe. I think this card's fine, too. We're going to see how this card shakes out, because this card could be really good as well. It's got Magecraft. It's got Prowess, but it gives Prowess to all the creatures. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So maybe this card stacks like bananas. One thing's for sure, there's going to be a Prowess deck in like Historic and Pioneer now, like a really solid Prowess deck. Actually, no, wait a minute. Shouldn't there already be a Prowess deck in these formats? There should be a Prowess deck. They've got all the cards. They just don't have Manamorphose. Or maybe the mana was awkward enough that they couldn't play it. Would Grape Shot be viable? I don't think so. Because that Grape Shot depends on having a lot of mana available after you've cast all your spells, but Prowess doesn't have that much mana after they cast all their spells. Do you think Rakdos Shadow will make a comeback or switch back to Is It Prowess? Rakdos Shadow, in a sense, is still around. I mean, it's like sort of... It's Jund Shadow, basically. Jund Shadow is really strong. So it's just basically Rakdos Shadow Splash Green. Yeah, Is It Prowess and Pioneer should be good. They have Prowess right now. Doesn't have the cheap spells to make it work. Where is it right now? Where is it in the metagame? Select format, Pioneer. Where are you? Is it Prowess? We got Is It Phoenix? And this is not quite the same thing. I'm surprised there's Is It Phoenix, though. So you telling me they don't got this? Well, they don't have Bolt. You know, they don't have Bolt. And they don't have Lava Dart or Manamorphose. They are missing the good red card. So yeah, is it Prowess not a thing? Maybe Boros Prowess can be a thing. At the very least, I mean, we might be seeing some sort of Boros burn with that new Prowess creature. I'm sure that is strong as well. People are already preparing for historic Boros Prowess. So there might be a Boros Prowess / burn deck coming in Pioneer. Because there already is a burn deck, right? There's already a burn deck. Where's the burn deck? Here. Look at all this crap that they're playing. Like, fuck this Gitu Lava Runner. We're just going to be playing with that new Lumamancer. Easy. Easy swap. And then just go to their head. Is the mana going to be bad? Mana won't be too bad. They probably need one more. They probably need a Pathway in this deck. Pathway might... No, maybe Pathway is awkward. There's a Colorless here. There's Boros Charm here. There's a... Oh, okay. Yeah, Pathway maybe is okay. Light up the stage. It'll be okay. Not great. It's not ideal. You can live with it. Do you think Lumamancer is going to resurge Feather decks? Maybe. That's possible. Like, it works in the Feather deck, right? You cast a bunch of spells. All right, let's get back to some questions. Good morning, Jarl. How's the Pioneer format in the United States and Canada? It's still popular in the Philippines, though, by paper. I mean, I can't tell how popular it is by paper because we just don't have much paper magic going on right now. I don't know many local game stores that are even open. What would you say is the most important thing to learn to get good at Modern? You gotta play it. You need to be part of the community, definitely. Modern strongly is an experience-based format. There are so many different decks, and you get a huge edge if you can play test enough of this format and you play it on a regular basis. Like, you know, I've played so much against Eldrazi Tron that even if the format changes a lot, I get a bunch of new cards, Eldrazi Tron gets a bunch of new cards, I still have a sense of the matchup, what I'm trying to aim for. And that's the essence of Modern. It's strongly experience-based format. So when you play it, and what's good about that is that you grind in your hours when you have, and then you can take like a month off. You can take 2 months off. And when you come back, you still got that experience. It's still generally pretty valuable because the decks don't rotate like they do in Standard. So that's the best thing I can say to get better at Modern. Because when you know your deck better than your opponent, and you've played the matchup a lot, you're going to get a big edge in that situation. People who are playing their deck for the first time, they're at a huge loss compared to you if you've play tested your deck against the entire field and you know exactly what you're doing, what to expect. Because they may not know the interactions that your deck plays against them very well. And that loses huge percentage points. Ja, would you like some sort of shakeup on how Merfolk is built in Modern? Something like how Goblins went from a mid-range aggro to a combo deck? I wouldn't mind that. Like, we got Thassa's Oracle, but the question is how to combo off with Thassa's Oracle. Well, yeah, I guess we have options. I mean, I tried to make a combo deck. It was good for a few leagues. Like, so we got this tool here. And what's the best way to go about it? Yeah, I tried the Pure Steel Paladin, Paradise Mantle Way. There is Inverter of Truth. I tried a little bit with this. It felt clunky, though. These inverters really suck when they suck. Simple as that. So there is some way, like, well, we're missing, I don't know, one more piece to make it work like that. I would love for there to be like some combo finish in the deck. Would love it. I think the set has been spoiled now, yeah. Are you playing the Super Qualifier today? I am not. Celebrating Easter today. Can Infect back to the top? There is a chance. It doesn't look good for Infect right now, but if I were to give like a little bit of a glimmer of hope, people. There was an Infect deck that made the top 32 of a Modern Challenge. Let's go look at it. I hope I can find it. Where are you? Where are you, Infect? I am searching for this Infect deck. Here we go. Well, actually, I don't know if this is this it? Yeah, Modern Challenge, 6-1. Maybe that made top 8. Let's see if there's anything new or innovative in this deck. We've got 1 Dryad Arbor, 4 Glistener Elf, 4 Noble Hierarch, 4 Blighted Agent, 3 Blossoming Defense, Distortion Strike, Groundswell, Might of Old Kroza, 4 Mutagenic Growth, Scale Up, Snake Skin Veil. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. Interesting. So more defense. You know, in fact, some Infect player says, you know what? We got to protect our creatures. This is more important than anything else. You got to protect our children. These are our children. We got to protect our children. Snakeskin Veil. 3 Spell Pierce, 3 Vines of the Vastwood. It's interesting. You got the Snakeskin Veils, but you don't have the Vines. You put a counter on it? Okay, so you put a counter on it. I guess it protects you a little bit from Soulscar Mage. And you have a 1 of Become Immense. And nothing, any spicy stuff in the sideboard. 2 Spellskite seems reasonable. 3 Tarmogoyf. I have seen that tech before. Tarmogoyf! What does everyone think about Tarmogoyf here? What is this for? Is this for like a Jund match? Is this for like, I don't know what this is. Like, it can't be for a combo matchup. Because you're like a combo deck that's probably faster than that combo deck. Is it just like raw like threat density? What do they want to play Tarmogoyf for? They got Goyf in their sideboard here. It sticks out like a sore thumb. That's $100. It's a $100 sideboard strategy. Once upon a time, it used to be $600. Weather the Storm, Dismember, and 2 Force of Vigor. I don't really see any big... Yeah, definitely overload the removal. Banana Lord. I don't see any big innovations here, though. I think this deck will still suffer to Chalice of the Void and a bunch of removal. What would you attribute to the rise of E-Tron in the current meta to? There seems to be so many bad matchups at the top. Heliod and Amulet, for instance. Is Chalice that good now? Yes. Chalice is that good now. Well, I mean, here's the thing. You don't have to beat every deck. Like, let's just talk about this. I mean, I've brought this up a million times. I'll bring it up again. You don't need to beat every deck. And just recently with my Merfolk build, I've decided if I play against Amulet, I'm just going to lose. Like, I really have no good chance of beating this deck. So just fuck it. If I play against it, I lose. And you got to be okay with that. And it's fine. Because if you run into those matchups, and you know what? It sucks that they're like some of the more popular decks. But you can still carve out a big victory by beating everyone else in the metagame. Chalice of the Void is great against like this Infect deck, against Prowess, against Burn, against the Shadow decks. So it has like it's basically an I win card in a lot of cases. So yeah, the rise of E-Tron is real. The rise of E-Tron is real. And you gotta learn to be comfortable having just a brutal, terrible matchup against some decks. And that's fine if you have a great matchup against everything else. You'll do great. You can win tournaments with that strategy. Art Laley, with your recent budget modern decks video, did you have a look at any elf lists? Just wondering, as there are some really strong tier 1.5 lists for under $100 due to all forests. Well, I tried to. Well, elves doesn't have any presence in the metagame. I just tried to showcase decks that have like some presence in the metagame, like because elves is like really fringe right now. That's all. Like I've made other budget videos that included elves. And this one, it was just based on like, hey, these are powerful decks. They're winning right now in Modern. Here's how you can play them on a budget. But definitely, you can play elves for like $4. I still haven't made that video. I'm so sorry to the guy who made this elf list. If you're out there, I'm so I got it. I've got it. I haven't had it recorded, but I've got it all set up. I just have to hit the record button and we make it. You can play elves for $4. Favorite meme deck in Modern? Probably Mill. That is a super meme. It's the meme of all memes. What can I say? I used to laugh my ass off at Mill players. I mean, it was always super ponies playing the Mill decks too. And now it's like really serious. It's very serious. Probably because there's just the right number of the right kind of combo decks in the metagame. Healing Company, Amulet. Amulet hates that fucking deck. It's like, oh my god, we're against Mill. Is this how it's going to go down? I can't believe this. Everyone can beat this deck except me. Well, I'm not really shedding any tears for the Amulet players, to be honest. We're not shedding tears for the Amulet players. These things with Chain of Smog on turn 2. I do not know what this is a reference to. How do you judge what land cards to put in a deck and what cycle fits what deck? So some decks need to curve out. Some decks are more valuable because you're trying to be fast. And if you're trying to be fast, you can't have any lands coming into play tap. So decks like Prowess, Burn, Shadow decks, they're trying to be mana efficient. They're trying to go to your head. So for that reason, you can't be clunky on lands. But then there's some decks that they can be a little bit slower. They don't need lands coming into play untapped all the time. This can include some control decks or even mid-range decks like Jund. You know, I mean, I don't know if they play so much Raging Ravine anymore, but once upon a time they did. But the point is, if the goal is to get to the end, to slow the game down, get to the mid to late game phase, then there is some room to play some lands that come into play tapped. Now, which lands? I mean, I use what's it called? How many mana sources do you need? That's all I search in Google. And then we got this Frank Karsten article, which basically illustrates how many of a color you need in your deck. So if we see here we go. I just looked up I literally looked up how many mana sources do you need. This is one of my favorite resources. This is free. Get the 2018 version. It's not the most latest one, but it's the most latest one that's free. And in a 60 card deck, it tells you how many, like, if you want to try to cast Damnation, you need 2 color of a certain mana by turn 4. You need 16 of those. You need 16 black sources in your deck. Let's zoom in on this. We have Damnation. 16 black sources. And so from here, you just got to piece together the puzzle, what you need. Now, it's very important that if you have 4 cantrips in your deck, that counts as 1 mana source, basically. So like 4 Mishra's Bauble can equal a mana source in some way. And like, you know, Lord of Atlantis requires 20 blue sources to cast them by turn 2, 90% of the time. This is all based on 90% of the time, by the way. This is how many mana sources you need to cast these cards 90% of the time on curve. But there's some room. I don't need 20 islands in my deck because I'm playing Ether Vial, and Ether Vial will cast my Lord of Atlantis, so I can play some Mutavaults. So anyway, those are things you got to think about when building your mana base for your archetype. Thomas Penny, I don't play anything outside of Modern. What is all the talk hype about this new card shaking up in Historic? So yeah, well, hold on. It was the Mystical Archive cards are all going into Historic. So all these cards, it's like, and it's a big dump of really high impact cards. Like, they got Faithless Looting in here, for fuck's sakes. They have Brainstorm. Brainstorm doesn't have any fetch lands to use. I mean, they got Day of Judgment. That's another sweeper. They're going to have Defiant. I think they already had Defiant Strike. But they got some old cards. We got Mana Tide now. So you can go get... People love Mana Tide. They love the Gotham. Who doesn't like the Gotham? Tell me if you love the Gotham factor of Mana Tides, or if you think it's a waste of time. I guess don't mention it. Got Revitalization. Okay, well, okay, they banned Swords to Plowshares, which I don't understand how you do that. Why are you banning the interaction? Especially, well, they have a lot of graveyard hate, so whatever. Blue Sun Zenith is now going to be in the format. Target player draws X cards. Compulsive Research, Brainstorm going to be legal. Counterspell got banned, but we're gonna have Memory Lapse. That's not bad. That's actually a pretty good card. That's underrated. Mind's Desire, but so the point is they pumped a bunch of like pretty high impact cards into this set. We have Phyrexian Mana is finally making its way to Historic. So here, that's the deal. Is Dark Ritual banned? Did they ban Dark Ritual? Imagine that they have to. I don't know if they updated this list. Include Pauper, Pioneer. Where's Historic? Is that the top or something? Modern, Vintage. I don't see the Historic band list here, which is a bit funny. Huh. What the fuck? Hold on. Okay. Mystical Archives banned cards. Okay, channel counters. Yeah, they banned Dark Ritual. You can't let that thing run around the system. You can't let Dark Ritual be banned. That is ridiculous. Lightning Bolt's banned. Holy fuck. What? Why? Well, okay, it's one day. It's coming back, people. It's coming back. This format's going to be ridiculous one day. It's coming back. Probably all these things are coming back, except Channel. Channel's gone. Goodbye, Channel. You're never coming back. But anyway, that's the point. So they threw in a bunch of... Is Demonic Tutor banned? Yeah, Demonic Tutor. You got to ban that card. You got to eliminate Inquisition of Kozilek. So now you got Thoughtseize and Inquisition of Kozilek. Tendrils of Agony. A real Storm card. Genuine Storm win condition. Legacy Power. So anyway, that's the... Oh yeah, Faithless Looting. Now, Faithless Looting might be harder to break than I originally thought, but it's still going to be a breakable card. And Grape Shot. Yeah, that's great. Let's just throw all the fucking combo cards in this format now. All the combo cards. And Stone Rain. This was a good spot. Oh yeah, they got Urza's Rage here. This was a good spot to put Ether Vial in. Where's our Ether Vial? No Ether Vial. Anyway. So that's the deal with Historic. It's getting a bunch of combo cards. Is it possible to make a Gruul Prowess stack with the new 2-mana 2/2 Strixhaven card and a Tarkus command? You got to give me names here. I don't know what every card is. 2-mana Gruul Prowess with the new 2-mana... I don't know what this is. You mean the Leonin Arbiter? Which is not a Gruul card. So in that case, I would say no, but I don't think this is what you're talking about. I need names to cards. Sorry about that. Maraudry could enable a combo for Merfolk. Not really. I mean, the only combo Maraudry has is if you have two of them, then you basically play spells for free. Can you play Thassa's Oracle as just a value creature? I've tried that before, and it sort of worked. It wasn't bad. It was actually okay. It was better than I thought it was. Wasn't there a Merfolk combo to mill yourself? I don't know, in block constructed maybe, or in limited for sure. Self-mill package with Merfolk Secret Keeper. Well, you might end up milling your Thassa's Oracle. Do you think Confounding Conundrum can work as hate against Titan? According to the Titan players, it's their the single card they fear the most. They don't fear any card more than Confounding Conundrum, so yes. But I don't want to put it in my sideboard just for that matchup. Will the new Strixhaven Stadium be added sideboard infect deck? Will new Strixhaven Stadium? Oh, it's literally called Strixhaven Stadium. For 3 mana, add a generic. Put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, remove a point counter from Strixhaven Stadium. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Then if it has 10 or more point counters on it, remove all, and that player loses the game. Doesn't make any sense in an infect deck. I mean, if you've dealt 10 points of damage, you've won. Unless you're talking about like an pseudo infect deck outside of modern, like historic or something. Steven, what's your thoughts on Silver Quill Silencer with comparisons to Meddling Mage? Not even close to the same thing. The pure difference is that Silver Quill Silencer doesn't prevent you from casting the card. So you can just still do it, but it's going to be at a cost. You lose life and you draw a card. But you know what? If that's the moment I win the game, it doesn't matter. So I think it's not even close to Meddling Mage. It's a lot worse. Got one more power, but it doesn't really matter. What's going to happen is like they'll just play all the other cards first, and then they'll play the card that you named, and then it just won't mean enough. It's better if you have the choice. Like Meddling Mage, you definitely lock out that card until they kill the Meddling Mage. But with Silver Quill Silencer, your opponent has the choice. Do they want to play it early at a disadvantage, or do they want to wait longer at a point where maybe the disadvantage isn't relevant anymore? Halfway Joe, Mystic Reflection to empty the warrens. Would the copied spell be affected as well by Mystic? No, it wouldn't actually, because Mystic Reflection very specifically says the first instant of tokens that enter the battlefield get copied by something, or they turn into copies. So one portion of Empty the Warrens resolves, you get 2 goblins, and those goblins will turn into whatever you targeted with Mystic Reflection. And then as each one resolves later, they just become tokens. They have to come into play at once, but Storm resolves one at a time. So it doesn't actually work. Oh, you refined your question a little bit later. But I think you're still talking about the white creature, Leonan's Light Scribe. That's still not a Gruul deck. I think this is what you're talking about. That goes bigger. It's just too many colors. I mean, maybe you can make a Naya deck. Like, forget Gruul. You just go Naya. That's possible. Good morning, Trunic. Do you think Mardu Vehicles is viable in Modern with Heart of Kirin and Smuggler's Copter, something like the standard deck of old that had 5 out of 8 top 8 spots at the Pro Tour? Overall, no, I don't think so. I think vehicle decks are more vulnerable to the hate of Modern. You need to crew a creature. You need a creature in play. There's a lot of artifact hate, so I don't think it has the same power as it did in. I don't think it has the same power as it did in Standard. However, maybe if they make enough dwarfs where the vehicles get a really good payoff, maybe it's possible. But as it stands, I don't think so. I've seen some decks and they just fail miserably. But it also might be a thing of like, because you have to play with dwarfs, like what's it called? Steelcraft Exemplar. Maybe if there are enough good dwarves in the metagame, so you can make a combination of a dwarf deck with some vehicles like Heart of Kirin, Smuggler's Copter, and really make it work. What do you think about the new Grixis Shadow Delver deck? I think it's like, I don't see the reason to have Delver of Secrets over Swift Spear, basically. The point of, I saw the deck. It was like a Delver deck with Shadow and Scourge of the Skyclaves, and the main purpose, the main reason we got Delver of Secrets in that deck is so that you can deal 1 point of damage by turn 2, so you can play your Scourge of the Skyclaves. Why not just play Swift Spear? Why not just get the damage in on turn 1? It's all dealt with. Ben Golan says, I have a loan account for 200 ticks and want to build some modern decks. Go check out my budget deck builds. For 200 ticks, you can actually get quite a bit. I mean, you could have, like, for example, I think you can get the whole Primeval Titan deck for 200 ticks, if I am not mistaken. If you want to go to the dark side, if you want to get high as an amulet lit player, look at that, 162 ticks for a full amulet deck. No budget or nothing. Less than 200 tickets. There you go. Ben Golan. That's how it's done. That magic. I can't tell exactly. There's probably so I mean, just off the top of my head, there were cards that I think we could see play in Modern from Strixhaven. Maybe that's Leonin Scribe. The Clever Lumimancer for sure. I downplayed that stupid dragon. Oh man, what was the dragon? Something Lord. Damn it, this is too vague. What is the new gold dragon? Oh, this is a Lord of Atlantis. Too many lords. What is the new dragon? Oh, I can just probably quickly look for it here. Oh, Lore Hold. So it wasn't a Lord. There it is. Like, I dismissed this really quickly the first time I looked at it, but this could be like an outrageous combo piece. I'm like legitimately scared of this thing. And then like when it comes out, I mean, it's like a lot of Reanimator decks, but like it has haste, and I'm very scared how like consistent this is going to be. Because there was a Narset deck. It was just a bit clunky. You have to wait another turn for it to come back onto the battlefield. But this just has haste. It digs deeper. I think this card could be a serious problem. It's possible. Chris Ross with the €5 super chat. Thank you very much, Chris. Good afternoon from your soldiers in Germany. Guten Tag. What are your thoughts on the new learn mechanic, and do you think we'll see much modern play? It probably, well, I mean, we'll see, but it doesn't look very special. It looks pretty watered down. And I don't think, I mean, it could see play. Obviously, we want to, people love value, but I mean, we already have cards that pull cards out of their ass from their sideboard. We have Karn the Great Creator. We have things like what is the spirits? Not spirits, the fairies. Man, I'm bad with names these days. I'll look up every fairy. We got the fairy and Pioneer that can dig for cards in the sideboard. So I mean, it's not ridiculous to think that. I mean, it's not ridiculous to think that there will be some play out of these lesson cards, but I didn't see anything too busted. Fae of Wishes is what I was thinking about. I don't think they printed any like ridiculously busted lesson cards. Well, unless I missed it. If anyone saw some outrageously busted lesson cards, you know, let us all know. But, you know, the mechanic is weird, right? The lesson mechanic is weird because you also have the option to sort of loot the card. Is that how it works? Some of these cards, you can draw a card, then loot with them. Like you have options, you know, you have options. Look at that promo. That was great. See, I have options. Thank you very much, everyone. You are the hive mind. You're the mind that I need in my brain right now. Anthony says, Nikachu MTG streams top 7 ways to stop the Heliod combo. 1 card in each color, maybe then gold, then colorless. Here, I'll tell you how you stop the Heliod combo. I'll show you. I'm going to show it to you. Get your notebooks out, people. Get your pad of paper out. Oh, fuck, where is it? Mill's falling off the map here. Top 7 ways to beat Heliod combo. First one, Hedron Crab. Number 2, Ruin Crab. Number 3, Surgical Extraction. Number 4, Maddening Cacophony. Number 5, Archive Trap. Number 6, Mesmeric Orb. Thank you very much for coming out to my TED Talk. I don't know if they have that big of an edge in this matchup, but they do have a good chunk of like removal plus like surgical extraction, and that's very, very important. Well, no, let's look at the sideboard. What? This deck doesn't have Extirpate? That people needlessly tell me I'm mispronouncing. I hope everyone enjoyed that TED Talk. Was it a good TED Talk or what? Anyway, it's time. You know what time it is, everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Decklist review time. So go first. You got to go to my description, go to my Discord. I have a channel called Decklist Review. Now, in Decklist Review, this is the place where you want to use the command !review deck space, give the URL to your deck list, and you'll be eligible at random for Decklist Review to get your deck list shown and chosen and showcased in front of the community. And as we wait for people to submit their deck list, we are going to thank our sponsors, starting with FusionGamingOnline.com. Now, you can definitely pre-order Strixhaven singles and sealed product from FusionGamingOnline.com, but you can also give them your cards. The fact that they're doing this pretty often means these cards are selling like hotcakes. More people want Magic cards than ever before. So sell them your cards, 35% trade-in bonus when you sell to FusionGamingOnline.com. But if you want to pre-order cards from Strixhaven, don't forget that you can use coupon code Nikachu. Lets them know I sent you. Also gets you 5% off all your purchases. You can't lose. Well, yeah, you can buy Time Spiral Remastered stuff there too. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. And definitely, this is the best way to play test the new Strixhaven cards without buying into any of them at once. Yeah, before you know what you're going to buy into, you want to play test with it first. Support the channel by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 15% off your first 2 months using my coupon code Nikachu. One of these days, I'll remember to join the Discord. It would be awesome to get a build reviewed by the master. There you go. And the community. It's not all me. You guys help a lot. Like a lot. All right, Uber Jam, congratulations. You're the next contestant on Decklist Review. You got a Polymorph Modern deck. Oh my god. Fucking Mox. I'm sorry, Uber Jam. I think you got to submit it on a different site or something. This happens on Mox, and it's happening all the time. Here, let me show all of you. I get this 404 error. The page is lost but seeking. But some people can see it and some people can't. That's the problem. Anyway, can't send. And I'm sure it's public. It's not you. It's Moxfield for some. I don't know what their deal is. I got to go to someone else. Sorry about that, Uber Jam. Maybe submit your list on another site. It's not deckstats.net, please. Okay, the time is now. 4-color Reanimator. Here we go. The time is now. Now is your turn for Decklist Review. What do we got here? We got a little bit of Goblin Engineer action. Okay, so what is this site? Manastack.com. Never seen it before, but it works. And it works nicely, too. Manastack.com. You got... I should make a top 10 websites for Decklist review. Well, it gets a little cropped off at the bottom. How do we do here? Crop some stuff off. Maybe we... Not a little bit. There, this works. This works for me. Okay, 23 lands. I won't look at the lands too much. Creatures, Goblin Engineer. So we're trying to regurgitate some artifacts or something. Inkwell Leviathan, Platinum Empyrean. Oh, maybe this is the deck. Like, there was a question earlier. You know, what's the best Blightsteel Colossus deck? Maybe it's this. Now, we don't have Blightsteel Colossus here, but maybe it should have it. But hey, Inkwell Leviathan, that is serious. That is a serious BS card. It's got Shroud and Island Walk and Trample. Very strong. Anyway, Goblin Engineer, powerful stuff. Instance, Gifts Ungiven. Is it Charm to discard the creatures, of course. This is a sideboard. Though that's a little bit confusing from Mana Stack. They put the sideboard at the bottom here. Serum Visions, Trash for Treasure, an additional cost to cast. There's an additional cost to play Trash for Treasure, sacrifice an artifact, return target artifact card from your graveyard to play. That's pretty strong. That's not bad. 3 Unburial Rites, of course, to combo with your Gifts Ungiven. Chromatic Sphere, Chromatic Star, Mishra's Bauble. This is a cool deck. This is a pretty cool. Do we have enough payoff cards here? Maybe. And then you've got all these cards: Abrade, Ether Gust, Engineer Explosives, Lightning Axe, Mystical Dispute, Pithing Needle, Spell Pierce, Sphinx of the Steel Wind. So I'm just curious if these are the best artifact creatures to win with. That's all. Oh yeah, you're right. We can't use Blightsteel. You're right. It would just shuffle back in. That's why we got what we have here. Because it works. So this is pretty cool. Sharum. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, so double the fun here, huh? Maybe. I don't mind Inkwell Leviathan. Like, that's just a very good way of like winning the game. Platinum Empyrean, I'm like, meh, because you can kill Platinum Empyrean, right? There's a lot of things that don't kill Platinum Empyrean. Like, Fatal Push has no power here. Sundering Titan, Wormcoil. Like, these are all okay cards. Ed Emery's a bit awkward. Emery is a little... Actually, do you know what? Emery is not too bad, but Emery is a bit awkward. Because you're not going to cast any of these. You can cast all of these. So what would you suggest we remove? Like, and also, here's another thing. We don't have that many artifacts, like early game. So Emery is literally like a 3-mana card. Emery is a little bit better when you have like tons of early game artifacts. Well, Goryo's Vengeance is only a one-shot thing. So if you Goryo's Vengeance, you're Platinum Empyrean. I mean, that's not and Goryo's Vengeance only returns like in legendary creatures. We don't have any legendary creatures here. Yeah, Sphinx of the Steel Wind is here. Maybe it's better in the main deck. Well, like, first off, the list is pretty clean. Like, this is a pretty clean list. I would just say we might want 2 more artifacts so that we definitely have an artifact for Trash for Treasure. Maybe I'm wrong. Serum Visions and Is It Charm. Maybe this is more than enough to find one of these artifacts so that when you Trash for Treasure, it works. Scholar of the Lost Trove. It's not an artifact. It needs to be an artifact. Because the point of it... Oops, where am I going? Where am I going? The point is we do want to use the Goblin Engineer. ETB may search your library for an artifact card, put it into the graveyard, shuffle your library. Then you can sacrifice an artifact in play, return target artifact card with convert mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I might want 2 more artifacts here. Okay, so you have Goblin Engineer and you have Trash for Treasure, which depends on an artifact in play. I might want 2 more artifacts. You only have 10. So I might go down, say, 2 more Serum Visions. Or I don't even know if you need Serum Visions in this deck. You'd be better off with some sort of looting card. But I would definitely look to bring in 2 more Chromatic Spheres. Maybe Ichor Wellspring. The only problem is that the it's not really great on curve. I imagine you go on. Okay, this is how I imagine the deck wants to curve out. Turn 1, Chromatic Star or Mishra's Bauble. Turn 2, Is It Charm? Some artifact into the graveyard. Turn 3, Trash for Treasure. Sack your artifact in play. Put something else. Bring that thing from the graveyard to the battlefield. So this, you got to be on curve here. And if we go Ichor Wellspring, great card. It looks good for this deck, but it's very poor on curve. Because you go like turn 1, like Serum Visions or something. Turn 2, Ichor Wellspring. Turn 3, you're still not even set up for Trash for Treasure because you have nothing in the graveyard to bring back, right? Is it 3 CMC or less? Sacrifice an artifact. Return target artifact card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Well, I'll be damned. This is a piece of shit. You're actually right. This don't work. So what is the point of this? To bring back these things? But they just cycle each other. Huh. That's why we got the community here, people. That's why we got the coffee. I gotta drink my own coffee. That's the point. Everyone's drinking coffee. They got their eyeballs on this. Yeah, Goblin Engineer. It doesn't really work in this deck. So I don't know how we tutor for these things. Well, okay. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's basically 2 mana. Dig for one of your artifact cards and put them in your graveyard. So it's not the greatest. It would be nice if they had more synergy with the deck, though. Like, you could loop chromatic stars with this. Sack Chromatic Star. Even get Mishra's Bauble. They loop pretty well. Yeah, Engineer is just a tutor. Replace Serum Visions for Witching. Oh, Witching Well is a great idea. That is gas. That's a gas suggestion. ETB Scry 2 is an artifact. Also, late game, sacrifice it, draw 2 cards. This is a great suggestion. Yeah, just fuck the Serum Visions. Replace 4 Serum Visions for Witching Well. Massive upgrade. Massive upgrade. You can't play... Oh, you mean actual Lurrus? I don't think that's on curve very well. Yeah, it's just a tutor. I don't know if Witchclaw Talisman is a bit clunky. So anyway, well, Witching Well is a great suggestion. I like that one. How do reanimate decks work? Well, in this case, you can sometimes gift... Okay, so if anyone doesn't know the combo here, this is the classic... Get your notepads out again. The classic Reanimator Gifts Ungiven combo with Gifts Ungiven and Unburial... Where's Unburial Rites? This is a sideboard. Unburial Rites. Can we see what this card looks like? Here we go. So Unburial Rites has Flashback, a white and 3 generic. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And Gifts Ungiven... Check out these words. Search your library for 4 cards with different names and reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand, and then shuffle your library. But the rules of Magic state that you are not forced to present 4 cards to your opponent. You can opt to just take 2 cards out of your deck and give it to your opponent. So what you end up doing is you give your opponent to choose which pile is going into the graveyard. And there's only 1 pile, so it goes to the graveyard. So you go get Unburial Rites, and you also go get like Platinum Empyrean with your Gifts Ungiven. Just 2 cards. They go to the graveyard, and then next turn you Unburial Rites your Platinum Empyrean on the battlefield, and boom, you're in business. Shriekhorn? This isn't really a dredge deck. I don't think it's as valuable. I think scrying for well anyway, I think I'm gonna value Witching Well a little bit better than Shriekhorn here. What is Terrarian? I think it's 2 mana though. I think this deck really wants to go. Like, this deck wants to curve properly. Oh, this is not bad. Okay, Terrarian enters the battlefield, tap, sacrifice it, add 2 mana in any combination of colors. When it's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. This is not bad. Truth be told. But it's just a cantrip. I still think I'm gonna give it to Witching Well, because you still need to find combo pieces, like very specific combo pieces, like Trash for Treasure, or Gifts Ungiven, or Unburial Rites. I think that's a little bit better. This is not a bad suggestion, though. In a deck that was more heavy on artifacts, this would be a good suggestion. Too expensive. 2 mana is too much. I think you want to go... We talked about the curve, people. The curve is very important. I don't think World of Invention is important. Anyway, I hope those upgrades are good. I don't know where Sphinx of the Steel Wind belongs. Maybe it belongs in the main deck. I have no idea what the impact of all these cards are. They're all strong artifacts, but I haven't played this in the metagame. I'm gonna blindly assume that your mana base is okay, but I could be wrong. You got not many basics, but it's hard in a 4-color deck, isn't it? It's hard out there. Okay, thank you very much for submitting the deck list. Hopefully that was some useful feedback. Definitely found some better turn 1 plays than Serum Visions. We got Slap. You are the next contestant on Decklist Review. You have brought Mono Red. Oh, sorry. Cocoa Storm? What the hell is this? It says it's a historic deck. All right. Historic Cocoa Storm. How are we doing it? Bomac Courier. Soul Scar Mage, Burning Tree Emissary, Runaway Steamkin, Bergie, God of Storytelling. Oh yeah, okay, I see where we're going here. Whenever you cast a spell, add mana. I see where we're going here. Bone Crusher Giant, Grinning Ingus, return Grinning Ingus. Okay, so this is infinite cast spells, but not netting anything, right? Oh, but there's fucking Grape Shot now. There's Grape Shot. They just printed Grape Shot. Absolutely. This is great. What's the point of Collected Company, though? Just so that you can find these cards? I guess that's true. You might want 4 Grinning Ingus, because that is like a combo piece. Maybe, I don't know how important it is you have 4 of them, because maybe it's more important to have 4 Collected Company. I imagine this deck probably should have a few more creatures, though. Is this legendary? It's not legendary. You should probably have another Grinning Ingus in this deck. I might be wrong. But more creatures, the better for Collected Company. We have 17 lands. That's very low for a Collected Company deck. Can we pull that off? That feels very low. Yeah, what red deck wins with Coco? It will be in a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, yes. Are you Grinning Ingus? Are you legal in Historic? Okay, hold on. Did I misspell this? Oh, Ignis. It's the other way around. Not legal in Historic. Deck is busted. Deck is busted. Is it being printed in Strix? Oh, it is. It's coming. It's on the way. Okay, deck is online again. Okay, my heart says it shouldn't play with Collected Company. You just don't have the lands for this deck at all. And I don't know. Well, maybe I'm wrong. You got Runaway Steamkin, right? Like, that does go a long way. So many 3-drops for a 17 land deck. Okay, so first I'm gonna say the idea is gas. The idea is gas. I don't know. I really don't know how the mana works with this deck. It's so tricky when you have stuff like Runaway Steamkin and Bergie and stuff like that. Because it's just hard to evaluate. Like, I want more lands, but it's hard to evaluate. It's really hard. Like, I don't know if this mana bait, like, if Burning Tree Emissary and, like, Runaway Steamkin, like, you could go turn to Runaway Steamkin, play Burning Tree Emissary and a bunch of red cards, and then boom, you've got the mana for Collected Company. Replace Shock for lands? Maybe. So, I mean, I would say, like, so Magma Spray, Scavenging Ooze, Garruk, Colossus, Rampaging Frostodon, Reclamation Sage, Chandra. Like, I think you got a nice build here. I don't want to make drastic suggestions to the mana base, but like if you have, I mean, take two options. You either remove stuff like I don't know, maybe Shock for lands, or you take out Collected Company if it's too clunky. And you just play with like a mono red deck that can randomly storm off, and that would be my suggestion. I gotta cut this short. I gotta use the washroom. So thank you very much for coming out to Coffee and MTG. I will see you all next time. Take care and keep brewing up that coffee, and we'll keep brewing up magic.